When I think of an HBCU, I think of family, I think of the band, the eccentric flow of the students through campus. Like, you never see just one type of Black person on campus. It's like all these different facets of what Black could be.
When I think of A&T, I think of activism, I think of doers. We have the saying, Aggies do. So I think of future prominent leaders of the world.
When I was growing up, my mom was super active in elections. Like, she was always the person like, oh, when you grow up and you turn 18, it's gonna be amazing, you're gonna vote. But my dad was the cynic. He was the, voting doesn't matter. If it did, we would have, not had to deal with anything from like 1865 to now. I got into public radio when I moved to Durham, North Carolina from Atlanta, Georgia, 2012. I got involved in this story on voter suppression because it focused on my alma mater, A&T. When I first came to A&T, the entire campus was in the mostly Black district, but that all changed in 2016 when it was split into 2 districts. All right, so tell me a little bit about where we are on campus right now.
What we're walking in right now is Congressional District 6. Sort of to our left is Congressional District 13, and this is Laurel Street, so it literally divides this campus. It's sort of the perfect street to split the 13 dorms that are on this campus. One side has 7 dorms and one side has 6 dorms.
And what do you think the effects will be of the division of campus?
You're gonna have confusion. So you're gonna have some students who live on that side of campus who think that they're supposed to vote in the academic classroom building, and that won't be the case. You might have some students on this side of the campus who think they have to go vote at Bethel AME Church, and that will not be the case.
North Carolina A&T is the largest HBCU in the country. There are over 12,000 students, and these students tend to vote Democratic. When the Republicans took control of the House in 2011, they did a number of things to try to stay in power. First, they packed Black voters, including A&T, into one district, District 12. The courts ruled that the gerrymandering along racial lines was illegal, so in 2016, they decided instead of drawing along racial lines, they would draw them on party lines. By splitting the campus into 2 separate congressional districts, it diluted the power of A&T's collective voice. So what was once one congressional district with an African-American representative, it is now 2 congressional districts with 2 white Republican legislators. The courts have ruled it unconstitutional again, but unfortunately, the maps cannot be redrawn in time for the 2018 election.
Beyond just even that one redistricting plan, we've seen attacks on methods of participation and the ability of young voters to be heard because folks in charge are scared of that voice. It's fear of young voters' power that initiates some of these shenanigans.
What are y'all doing on the ground in order to keep people coming out and hopefully maybe even overturn the effects of this gerrymandering?
Unfortunately, it's so hard to overcome gerrymandering. Rather than for the courts to fix it, we just have to have these overwhelming, large populations of people turn out to vote. So that's like the tangible but hard work that we have to do.
Hi, are you registered to vote? Do you feel like talking? Are you on the way to do something? You can do something. Have a good one. Hi, guys. So do you know about the gerrymandering that's happening on A&T's campus?
No, I can't say I do.
Do you know what gerrymandering is?
No.
Okay. So tell me about how you feel about the split of campus into 2 congressional districts.
I mean, I think it's completely biased and wrong. It's Republicans using the system to their advantage with crooked loopholes so that they can take power and stay in power. It's a game at this point. It's not fair anymore. This is not what democracy looks like.
I feel like it's important to vote, but it's not, it won't affect me as much.
I think, like, yes, you do need to vote, but just kind of with the past election, like, in the past election, the popular vote didn't even kind of decide who actually was taking the W, so it puts you in a weird position. You feel like, yeah, you do have to, but at the same time, it's like, it doesn't really matter if I do or don't.
I hope voters who are disillusioned and frustrated understand that this system is designed to make them feel that way. That's what it's about. And when you feel that way, folks who pass these laws, whether it's the gerrymandering laws or the voter suppression laws, are getting what they want.
Yeah, you want to come vote real quick? Yeah, they got Chipotle. We're doing a lot of things to get out the vote on this campus. We're having a political action week. We're also having a party at the polls, and we're having transportation sponsored by the university and a couple of other organizations to transport students to an early voting site. Everyone always quotes Martin Luther King. He always spoke about bending the moral arc of the universe towards justice. I think it's us that are actually bending that moral arc of the universe towards justice. And I think that there's another group of individuals who are bending that arc towards injustice. And so we have to engage with our peers. And this idea of elections and persuading people to vote doesn't just rest on, things just happening. It's actual people making those decisions.
I really hope that now that I have all this information, I can give it to the people closest to me who don't care, and that it'll spark something in their brains to be like, hey, we matter so much that they're doing X, Y, and Z, and this is on the ballot. It makes me want to do so many more stories and continue in journalism and continue researching controversial topics that need to be covered. I'm Kamaya Truitt, and my vote matters.